Don't walk alone. You're created for community. Loneliness brings hurt, while true community brings life. Welcome back to the channel. Daniel here. In the last few videos, we've been dealing with the question of what is a man? Now, this is absolutely vital because our culture is confused. Churches often don't give a great definition. And then we have young men growing up that don't know what it means to be a man. So they don't know where to look. They don't know what to do. And they aren't walking in the way God designed them. And our world needs men who walk out in their God-given design and role. Because when men begin to walk out in the way God designed them, guess what? Families flourish, children flourish, churches flourish, societies flourish, nations flourish, but we often don't because we don't know what to do. We don't know where to look. We don't know what it looks like. And also on top of that, as we've noted, we have a very real enemy who hates the things of God. John 10:10 talks about how he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So he wants to destroy what God has made, and he has a vested interest in destroying men. If he could destroy men and ruin men, he will destroy marriages, families, children, future generations. Today, I just want to talk about one thing the enemy will often use to paralyze men to keep them from walking and living the life they're fully created to live. It is loneliness. I mean, have you ever felt that before? You could be in a room full of people yet feel completely alone. Where our culture today is the most socially connected culture, yet people are more incredibly lonely. Men easily fall into this. Men will isolate, they will feel lonely, but instead of dealing with it, they tend to just move on. They tell themselves it's just life, I don't need anybody. But loneliness doesn't just disappear. Loneliness is incredibly destructive. So why do men tend to experience loneliness? I'll give a couple reasons. One is they do social isolation, all right? They separate themselves from others. As in they have this lone wolf idea, or they're not really known by people. They might be doing stuff with people, but they aren't known by people. They don't reach out to other people and they don't let people in. So they socially isolate themselves. The other, what they often could do is they emotionally isolate themselves. Is they could be surrounded by tons of people, but emotionally completely shut off. So they could be physically present, but emotionally absent. So they could have coworkers, acquaintances, teammates, even family around them, but inside they feel completely alone. This is a dangerous place to live that many men often go. Isolation tells you you don't need anyone, while God states you were created for community. So what do we do about loneliness? We need to get out of isolation and into community. Not just being around warm bodies, but true community. We need people that know us, that love us, challenge us, encourage us, carry our burdens, walk with us, or simply put, true, deep friendships. Not just acquaintances, not just people we simply do activities with, but real, deep, true friendships. People that know you for who you really are, your struggles, your fears, your joys, your hopes, your failures, your victories. Men can have 100 acquaintances, but still no friends. I remember a point in my life, I was connected and knew a lot of people. I had a lot of acquaintances and people I knew. Yet I found that I would smile, I would laugh, but I was outgoing. Yet inside I felt lonely, I felt hurt, I felt crushed. I ended up having to go to therapy and help work through this. And I realized that loneliness and emotional isolation was hurting me more than I realized. Yes, I was surrounded by people, but I still felt alone and I needed to change that. So I had to be intentional about friendships. Men have to be intentional about friendships. Men don't tend to make deep friendships as they get older. Like after high school, many men, not all, but many men tend to stop making friends. They might have people they work with, play sports with, go hunting with, go to the gym with, do activities with, but not necessarily people that know them. They don't know their struggles. They don't carry each other's burdens. They don't open up. And because of social media too, and men often commuting to work and being busy, men can easily go years without developing any meaningful friendship. So what do we do? What are steps or things men should do? First, men reach out. Stop walking alone. You're not created to be alone. You don't need 500 friends. You need a few men that truly know you. Be intentional about meeting and being together. Don't just do something, but actually meet to know each other as they encourage each other, carry each other's burdens. Second, stay present. Man, we live in a world that we're surrounded by distractions and things that often pull us away. One is simply a phone. Like our eyes could be on a screen, yet we're surrounded by people. We need to put it down, look up, and see who is around us. Who has God put around us? We need to be present with the people God has put around us. So, how do we then begin to fight against loneliness? In the book Fighting Shadows, which is right there, the authors talk about multiple ways we could fight against loneliness. Let me point out a few. The first is attention. And I just noted this a second ago, is learn to be present where you are with who you are, with the people around you. Prioritize being present with them. Look up. You might discover there's people who around you who you need and who need you. But we need to put things down and be present. Second, we need to participate. Get involved. Don't just sit on the sideline of life. Be intentional about community and building community, even if it's with a few people. Seek to know your wife. Seek to know your friends. Seek to know your children. Seek to know your brothers. Don't just be around them. Be intentional in pursuing them. And third thing I just want to add is that we need to be on mission. What I mean by that is live for something bigger than yourself. Men often thrive when they have a mission, a goal, something bigger. So find something bigger than yourself and a brotherhood to strive towards that together. Helping people in need, serving in your church, going on a mission trip, building something, serving your community. Mission builds community. The reality again is this: the enemy wants you to live in isolation. He wants you to separate yourself from God and others. And when men isolate themselves and they live in a state of loneliness, they are not living the way God has created them. They often will give up on their goals, give up on purpose, lose hope, and stop pursuing what God has called them to. Isolation makes us weaker, while community makes us stronger. The reality is God, when we've trusted Him, put our faith in Jesus, God, yes, saves us individually, but He saves us into a family. You were never meant to walk life alone. We need to find community, build community, find a brotherhood. Not a place where you simply occupy the same space, but a place where you can know others and where you could be fully known. Men, you're not alone. You're valued, you're needed, you have something to offer. Step into community and find the brotherhood to begin to push back the darkness. Now, here's the challenge I want to have for us this week. Is we need to put our phones down, put things down, look up and see who's around us. What people around us can we start building community with? The second is, how can we begin to participate, reach out, intentionally engage in life-giving relationships? And then how can we join something bigger than ourselves? How can we be on mission with others for something of God, God's mission, which is bigger than just our little 9-to-5 world that we often live in? Now, why does this matter? Because community gives life. Community pushes back loneliness. Community gives us a sense of belonging. Community helps us see our own faults, but also our need for others. Final thoughts here is that God, again, created us for community. He brings us into a family. So don't isolate yourself. Don't try to carry everything alone. Don't believe the lie that you don't need anyone. Don't walk alone, because loneliness will hurt, but true community brings life. Galatians 2:6 is the one verse I want to leave you guys with. It says this: bear one another's burdens. You cannot bear another's burdens if you don't know the other person. And they cannot bear your burdens if they don't know you. You are meant to carry each other's burdens. Some burdens are too heavy for you to carry alone. Find your brothers, your brotherhood, build community, walk together, and do not walk alone.